What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a bit of a change of pace from my typical videos. I wanted it to be chill, low-key, relaxing, kind of ASMR-y. We're going to go on a photography walk together. So I'm going to show you some clips that I took while I was walking around looking for things to take pictures of, and then I'll also show you the pictures that I got in each location, or at least near each location that I filmed. It's divided up into two sessions, so this first photography session took place on a Thursday night around 8:30 p.m. and as you can see, the sunset was absolutely gorgeous. Got this really beautiful golden light casting these really harsh shadows on things, and it really tends to bring out the color in the world around you. The second session I will get to a little later on in the video, and it was an overcast day in Chinatown. Ideally, I wanted to shoot at sunset in Chinatown, but it just didn't work out for me timing-wise, so I thought I'd show you guys some of the cool photos that you can get, even when the weather isn't really on your side. Something that I thought would make this video a little more interesting, or at least have a little bit more of a theme, was shooting all of the pictures with the Dream FX filter from Prism Lens FX on the end of the camera. So if you're noticing that a lot of the photos that I took have the same dreamy, hazy quality, that's why. For this first session, I also had the Starburst FX filter stacked on top. For no reason other than that I couldn't get them apart. They were stuck together and the sun was setting fast, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna roll with it. This is a good stack. So I tried that out, and I don't know how much the Star FX filter actually showed up, but the Dream FX filter definitely did a lot of the heavy lifting, and I was really happy with the effect in a lot of these photos. So now that I've gotten the introduction for this video out of the way, for the remainder of the video I'm just going to be talking about the footage that you're looking at, what kinds of things were inspiring me in those locations, what was inspiring me to go in the direction that I was walking, and basically the thought process behind the photos that I'm going to be showing you. At this point, I was really just following the sunlight. It was setting really fast, and so I was looking for interesting light artifacts left behind. And one such interesting light artifact was at this intersection. So you see we've got this amazing kind of reflection of the building across the street. So the sun is hitting the building across the street, and that's reflecting onto that building. I thought that would be interesting, but I wasn't really able to make it work. I did find this really cool Ukrainian church though, and I definitely made that one work. I love some of the pictures that I got there. I've taken photos in this area before as well, so I kind of left the buildings behind because I photographed them before, and I decided to go and try photographing the construction site that was nearby. So for those of you who don't know, currently at Main and Broadway they are constructing the new SkyTrain station that's going to go out partway at least to UBC, which is really exciting. And this construction site is just massive, and it's got these really detailed machines that I've never seen before, really intense machinery, and so I had a lot of fun kind of wandering around and photographing that. I also managed to get onto this do not walk side of the pedestrian area. I didn't see the no sidewalk sign until it was too late, and so I decided to just continue on. I got some interesting pictures of the grate that they had put up, or the fencing. I really wanted to capture some pictures of this beautiful sunset, but my lens was just not quite right for it, so I settled for this footage of it instead, and you can kind of get a glimpse of how beautiful that day really was. I walked around a little bit in the back alleys, just past Broadway, maybe around 7th area, and I got some really interesting pictures of the sunset reflecting in different things, different objects. I really like to look for reflections. I think it's really interesting the way that they twist the world around them in unexpected ways, and they're also uncontrollable ways, so you can't really predict what you're going to get until you walk to that location on that day and see how it looks. I really like this area kind of between Main and Ontario and Broadway and 6th or 5th. That whole area is just like super interesting. It's a combo between historical, industrial, and kind of contemporary. So you got a really good mix of cool architectures, interesting things to look around and see, lots of murals, and really fun places for portrait shoots as well. I've mentioned that in past videos, but I had to say it again. I got a few photos on the walk back up, but I didn't film as much because it was already getting pretty dark. The sun had pretty much set. So that was the end of session 1. I didn't really get any bangers or even any photos that I'm going to post anywhere at any point, but that's kind of how it is with photography. You know, you walk around for 3 hours and you get maybe one shot that you're really happy with. You get back from photography the time that you put into it, and you really have to love putting that time into it in order to get anything back at all. So here in Chinatown, I'm kind of walking around up about a block past Main, you know, on the eastern side, and I'm looking at all of these back alleys. So in one of the back alleys, you just saw the photos from it, I found a guy who was painting over some graffiti, and I thought that was an interesting shot, so I did have to ask for that shot, and he was really nice about it, and I was happy with that one. Just poking around in this back alley looking for objects of interest, you know, barbed wire or graffiti or other pieces of street art. I liked these murals. There's a lot to look at, and I really liked how much street art and graffiti was covering this particular area that you're looking at right now. I got a few really fun shots. I'd call them texture shots because they're just nice textures, they're not really interesting photos. This spot here with the cranes was really iconic, and I do wish that it had been a nicer day because I feel like on like a sunset eve, all of these cranes would just be like lit up. So that's definitely on my list of places to return to. Got some selfie footage here, also showing off these windows and how reflective they are. I really like that they've got kind of a green tinge to them. I thought that that could be an interesting element for a photo. Didn't really make the photo that I wanted to there, but I'm gonna come back. This blue wall, great place for portraits. I will probably do a Chinatown location feature at some point in the very near future. It might even be my next video, and so you'll be walking around Chinatown with me again very soon. I liked this wall because it had so much graffiti on it, and that continued all the way down the block. And I can imagine that that's not very nice for the people who own shops there. But they managed to make the shops look very beautiful and inviting anyways. I don't usually like to take pictures inside of shops, so I don't want to get anybody at work, anybody doing their job, you know. I wouldn't like it if somebody came in and started taking pictures of me while I was on the clock, so I always try to avoid that. But that said, it was hard to resist taking pictures of some of the merchandise, and especially this one shot coming up actually of these pigeons on the grains. I couldn't really avoid taking that shot. I mean, come on. This area I filmed just because it's a really cool spot for night photography, because there's all of these like little fake neon lights. And then just down this street a little ways is a really nice dark green wall, and when this shop is closed, it's got this dark green grate in front of it, and that's a really interesting element for portrait shoots. I decided to pop by it during my street photography adventure, hoping that there'd be something interesting going on. I didn't really get too much. I got an interesting reflective photo, I suppose, but that was about it, and then I carried on. So now I'm walking down Pender, away from Main, and kind of towards the downtown area, taking pictures of different shop fronts, and really taking in the different colors of this historical neighborhood. I got this guy with awesome pants, and then this guy who offered to pose for a photo, and I was like, alright, you want me to take your photo? I'll take your photo for sure. Got some interesting buildings. I really like the mint green and pink color palette that is dominating a lot of this street. And then I got some close-ups of this grate because it just seems like such a great element for a fashion shoot, and I really want to return here, so documented that. Also peering down back alleys while I'm walking along. I had this guy talking to me while I was taking these fish shots, and coming up is my favorite shot in this entire video. And as soon as I got it, I was like, yeah, that's the banger. Probably going to post that one at some point. I cropped it in a bunch of different ways, and honestly, I'm just really happy with all of these. I think they're fascinating visually. So I was feeling pretty good after grabbing that shot. I was like, okay, I know I got it. I know that I haven't just wasted the last like 2 days of street photography to get, you know, a bunch of texture photos or whatever. I got my one really good one of the fish. I also got this one shot of a guy at the end of an alley. I didn't want to get his face because I don't really like taking pictures of people who are particularly vulnerable. I just think it's kind of rude. Fun fact about this building that you're looking at here, it's actually the world's thinnest building, and I got a little up-close thing of that. It's only 1 meter wide, and so in my Chinatown video I'll probably tell you a little bit of the history of that building because that's the only thing I remember from the Chinatown tour that I did as a kid in high school. Got a few fun selfie shots in the mirrors by this building. It's a really amazing place to shoot at night. It's covered in mirrors and neon lights. And then once I had gotten my fill there, I continued down the street towards the iconic Chinatown gates. I will probably also feature these gates in my next video. I've never shot with them, but they're iconic, so somebody should. But it was really this other kind of gate nearby that caught my eye as I was walking by, and it just looked like a really nice kind of set of leading lines for a really simple, predictable, easy photo. But I think it turned out pretty nice. The light and shadows, really well balanced. Continuing on, this is past the International Village Mall. I'm getting kind of out of Chinatown now, maybe more into Gastown area. And I got some of these interesting back alleys. Unfortunately, that van would not move. I went back to the alley a couple times waiting for it to move. And I really wanted to try and make a picture with the graffiti on the construction wall that is to the right of this footage. And in a second you'll see the one picture that I did get, and I think it's alright actually. I think that one's cool. The colors are really nice, the graffiti's really cool. And then I decided it was time to turn around. So I went back to the skinny building, just got some footage for you to show you what it looks like from this side of the street. And then I went back to the fish that are at the insurance building, got some more of the fish, because I mean, that was where I got my best photos, so I figured I would try and recreate it. Got a few more fish that, I'm pretty happy with, and then continued back. And at this point in the video, we are almost back to my car, and I just wanted to do a little shout out about this area. So if you are in Chinatown, you're wanting to shoot, and you have a car that you need to park somewhere, don't pay for parking, because this area right here has 3 hours of free parking, or 2 hours of free parking, oops. And I've shown you the sign to prove it. There's another area past Main on the other side that also has free parking, but that's my favorite spot because it's front and center. Well, that's the end of the video. I've just got some extra footage here at the end to allow me some time to do a little voiceover. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know down in the comments. You can like this video, or you could subscribe to my channel, preferably both. And at this point, actually, you might have the joy of becoming my 200th subscriber. So that's an extra exciting incentive to hit that subscribe button. And if you like videos like this, I know this is pretty different than the typical videos that I do, but if you enjoyed how kind of calming and relaxing this was, please let me know, because it's fun for me to make. I love doing street photography sessions, and honestly, anything that incentivizes me to go out and do more street photography is definitely a good thing. So I enjoyed making it, I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I'm excited to see you guys soon for my next video next Monday. Until then, stay sharp, take care, and don't forget to keep shooting.